Why is this important and how does it impact me? This was a question an NBA basketball player just asked me this weekend in a session we were talking about, well, taxes. And I know it's not a majorly engaging discussion, but it is a very important educational subject. Earlier in my career, this would have thrown me off. Maybe this isn't valuable. Maybe they don't need to know this. What do they want to do from this information? And as his question even stated, all right, I get tax brackets more now. How does this help me? I now can see through that and say, I've already added value. You understand income tax brackets a little bit better? That is the purpose of Money Vehicle. But what it allowed me to do was open his and the room full of NBA players' eyes to the impact and the message behind the Money Vehicle movement. My response after I kind of took a second, again, I'm standing in front of human beings, I proceeded. This discussion around taxes is the foundation of the language of money. Our goal at Money Vehicle is to get you to speak this language better. We don't provide you answers, we provide questions. If you now understand income taxes, then you see why you want to try and reduce your income tax liability. NBA players, their marginal or next tax bracket is at 37%, the highest possible income tax bracket. So if you understand that you can legally start to reduce this liability through deductions and through business expenses, you begin to question how else you can reduce your tax liability through speaking the language of money. We begin by looking at capital gains and how investment taxes are actually treated differently. They come with their own set of nuances and details, long term, short term, realized, unrealized. But again, speaking the language, 37% income. Now, as a professional athlete, I'm in a 20% capital gains. As a traditional worker, you're in a 15% capital gain. Then you look at the estate tax, and the massive amount of the creation you have spent your life building will go back to the government upon your death. And you really want to figure out how best to avoid that estate tax. But it all begins with the idea that you now understand income taxes and you started to transfer it away. And then you look at the end of the picture and say, well, I don't want to do all of this strategy just to give it back at the end, speaking the language. You understand the foundation first. That is the epitome of our USE acronym. Understand, strategy, efficient. You have to understand the language before you can build a strategy. In this room that I'm standing in front of, going on this rant, talking to 10 NBA players, there will not only be some who become mega millionaires, but if they truly speak this language, they will become billionaires. They have teams of people that are going to help them do that. But the biggest question right now from every professional athlete is, how do I know what my team is telling me? How do I understand what they're saying, or if this strategy is something I do or do not agree with? And what I get to do is smile and say, it is my job to help you have a better conversation with that team. As we look at the understand move to strategy, well, now that you understand income taxes, now we start to build that strategy. What accounts, tax advantage accounts, can you start to reduce your tax liability? What other legal ways can you strategically reduce your taxable decisions and that overarching society choice that is a part of everything that we do? Once you have that strategy, once you have a open dialogue and conversation with your team, well, now we can start looking at that USE in efficiencies and really start to dive into the nuances that are going to save and create you more money throughout your career, which in the end is going to be hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, all not by something you went and created or earned harder, but just by speaking this language of money. We start with the foundation so you understand where we are going on this journey. Again, you have the chance to be a mega millionaire, and if you truly speak the language correctly, a billionaire. I paused. I let my rant kind of sink in. And finally, that gentleman looked back at me and said, man, this is the most I've ever understood money. Keep going. He saw the importance of understanding financial literacy and speaking this language. But what I'm more proud of, he saw the mission of Money Vehicle and how we are able to help him and millions of students speak this language so they can understand it, build a strategy for it, and then go find some efficiencies as they use money. The Money Vehicle movement is alive and well. This is one of my greatest achievements, is being able to stand in front of a room uncomfortably, awkwardly, and on the spot and share the message. Keep following the movement. We'll see you at the next stop.